This is Jay with Organic Money, and today's video is going to be about what's going on with the slide in the stock market as well as the crypto market. What we're seeing is that the crypto market is still running in tandem with the stock market. For what reason? I don't know why, but it should not be. But we are seeing the stock market, whenever it takes a dip, so does cryptocurrency. And the reason the stock market is taking a dip is because of what's going on between Ukraine and Russia, right? The United States is right in between this feud between these two first cousin-like countries, right? Ukraine and Russia are having their differences and their potential war, and the United States is right in the middle of it. So what happens is that the U.S. stocks and bond yields on Friday, they dropped, right? They tanked due to what's going on, because bonds are something that you use or that you buy from your government and hope to get paid for it at a later date. So normally during war times, our government likes to sell a lot of bonds, right, at cheap prices till we make a big percent on them later, right? So this is why the market tanked, due to possible war tension growing between Russia and Ukraine, right? Not only that, you see Bitcoin drop. As you look at the 24-hour percentage, you see Bitcoin down around 1%, Ethereum down around 3%. Tether's a stable coin, you know how much motion there. You know, BNB down a few percent, and so on and so forth. So what we're seeing is the reason why people are so scared of war is basically tanking the price of the crypto market. Not only that, you also have fears of inflation, right? You still have, last month you had the inflation hit 7.5%, which is a 40-year high. So basically you can take 7% and minus it from your check, because this is how we're losing wealth. This is why the middle class is disappearing. This is why we must invest, because inflation is rearing its ugly head. And I've been warning about this for years. Just check our previous videos. But in order to combat inflation, investing in hard assets and cryptocurrency is a must, because that's the only way we're going to able to attain or keep the little bit of wealth that we do have, right? And as you can see in this chart, it tanked today due to news going on with Russia and Ukraine, as well as inflation numbers, right? 7.5% inflation number is very high. I'm not sure if you guys can remember, but the Federal Reserve inflation rate used to be at 3%, right? Now the Fed back in November came out and said that they're going to increase interest rates 3 times in 2022, as well as cut back on $120 billion they were printing out per month, right? They cut back in November to around $90 billion, and now they're supposed to cut again in December and in January. But what that does is take money out of the market. This is why we had record highs in the stock market. This is why we have record-breaking highs in the housing market. It's because so much money and liquidity is pumping in through the Federal Reserve Bank. So if they were to stop pumping all that currency into these asset classes, then asset classes will tank, right? This is what's causing inflation. Inflation is a hidden taxes on goods and services. Inflation is due to all that massive money printing. The expansion of the Federal Reserve balance sheet has caused inflation, and we've been worried about it for years. So now it's here. People are starting to feel the pains of it. And this is what's going on in the crypto market and the stock market, now that Americans are aware that inflation is alive and well. All right. So this is why the markets are tanking. This is what happened on Friday, February the 11th. And this is the reason why you're starting to see a little red in the market. It could possibly turn around, but depending on the news and if war actually breaks out, it might continue. So we'll just have to wait and see.